Let's go.
Anyways, yeah. Hello, what is going on, guys? Wow, this is a surprise. Me recording a JoJo review on a Friday on the day it comes out. What? That's crazy. And the reason why is because, well, my wife right now isn't home, and I had an earlier shift from work. I just took it easy for a while. I just kind of rested, so I wanted to take it easy from my my very early shift that I had during the morning, which I don't usually work in the mornings like I used to, but it does take a little bit of a toll on you after a while. But other than that, though, I finally saw the latest episode. Diamond is Unbreakable, episode number 19. It's 19, bitches. Alright, this episode, getting out of the way really quick, not going to be the longest review because it's a very simple episode. So again, hopefully, and I'm just saying, hopefully it's not going to be too long of a review. Excuse me. Well, that being said, so when it comes to this episode, SHIGEICHI, I think that's his name. SHIGEICHI, yes. SHIGEICHI. Oh my god. I want to fucking murder this. I want to slam this motherfucker. God damn. Alright, I hate this kid so fucking much. I'm gonna get out there. It's actually, from what I've heard, he's like one of the most hateful characters in the JoJo universe. And SHIGEICHI, yeah, who can blame them? And I actually believe it now. I was like, okay, how is this character like the most hateful? And I'm like, oh, that's why. Okay, this dude. Alright. Now, at first, at the beginning, I thought it wasn't... The first episode I thought was kind of like, okay. Like, nothing too exciting or, whatever. Not like extravaganza, it was okay. But this episode, though, I will say was better. But this doesn't mean I, like SHIGEICHI. I hate this guy so much for him being so stupid. Okay, now I sort of know that he has somewhat. I mean, I guess because he's not so much of a doofus like we thought he was. And we all thought he was like retarded, but in reality he's not. He's just a little slow, but he's not retarded though. And it's like, wow. I mean, this dude. Yeah. So he's a slick motherfucker, and from the very beginning, this dude was so stupidly blinded by greed. He's like, oh yeah, we could just make a third of it, and instead we can just do that, and that seems okay. And this all this time, when they mention the word half, he fucking snaps, gets greedy, and tries to cross the scene with his harvest stand, and actually pretty much using it to his will after, because the heart, but before I get to that, let's get to the beginning of the episode, because I want to jump right into it. So let's just dive into the beginning where we see the bank. They actually get that lottery ticket from the last episode, and what happens is that the bank teller doesn't really believe him at first because he thinks that they're just using it as a fake because they are, only first year high schoolers, and I believe SHIGEICHI is still like what, in 7th or 8th grade or something like that. I know it's like in middle school, but he's still young and not able to actually use that to cash in the card. Now what happens is that the dude doesn't believe him, and when he calls the actual number to the house, the dude, I forget the name what it was, but he's like, yeah, I actually did buy some lottery tickets, but most of those were like loser cards. Like, they weren't anything like winning worthy, until Josuke thought smart and used his crazy diamond to actually change the somewhat of the name, so that way, he can get confused and be like, oh shit, I got the wrong name, oh sorry about that, I guess I pretty much fucked up. So yeah, so the bank teller was like, holy shit. So he couldn't believe his eyes either, because it was a little bizarre, because he's kind of creepy. He has this weird way of smelling things where he can smell like bullshit from a mile away, and for some reason it looks like, from his perspective, he thought he was wrong, and he just surrendered, and he just made him actually give the money as a check. So what happens is that SHIGEICHI holds the check. He's like, oh, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. I'm going to go cash it. And they're like, Josuke and Okisaku's like, oh, bat the fuck up, dude. We are the ones that helped you out with your harvest, so don't you think it's better that we split it in half? He's like, what? You really let them split it in half at you clans or whatever? Like, fuck that shit. Like, this is like all for me, because it was mainly you guys didn't really do jack squat. It was more of my harvest stand that did all the work. And, you know, it's like bullshit because they actually helped you out. And then finally, Okiosaku finally snaps. You know, he punches Shigichi, which he should have done, thank you, walks away. Then all of a sudden, after that, the harvest stand was hearing Josuke and Okiosaku's conversation about him, like, with his problem, with hanging out with him and stuff like that, about his, you know, his greed problem. And what happens is that after overhearing it, the harvest was like a dick. Like, literally, it was going all over their fucking skin. Like, it was crawling over Okiosaku, making his skin itch by biting off and sucking up fucking blood. So I guess his stand not only works as harvesting, but I never thought that his stand could actually be used for battle. Like, I literally thought that the stand could just be used for pickpocketing and shit. But no, apparently I was wrong. Like, I was like, okay, this stand is the most impressive. However, though, when it came to this episode, I really like the fact that, okay, it can be used in, you know, in battle and so on. Because I thought Shigichi would be like a weak motherfucker. In a sense, he kind of is, but not really. Because if he knows how to use his stand properly and knows how to use it right, he can use it for dire situations and for him to protect himself. And for the most cases, it actually worked. And for him being so gallibly stupid, I will admit, he did come up with some start. See, now I'm catching it. God damn it, now I'm catching your stupidity. When it came to his brilliant strategy, he decided to use some of his harvest to actually get some alcohol. And while, you know, they were, you know, doing their thing or whatever, etc., while they were doing their thing, and, you know, they actually got, you know, attacked and, you know, whatnot, he actually gave alcohol to Harvest to actually suck up, like, the liquid or part of the liquid. And when it actually happened, it got, like, onto most of, like, Josuke, and, like, when they were just about there, it's like, okay, well, you know, we can just take these things off, we can just, like, fuck them up or whatever. Like, it's not that much of a big deal. No, we're used to this kind of thing. And, you know, his eyes and shit like that, like, oh my god, like, what the hell, like, you know, they're just, like, you know, like Josuke's eye pretty much got a little bit fucked up. Not a lot, but, like, sort of scratched up there. You know, Okiosaku got a little bit fucked up as well. But it's like, alright, fine, you know, whatever, we can just go. So, you know, we can pretty much somewhat get through this. But until they realized they couldn't move for some reason, like, what the hell's going on? My body's feeling weird. My face, it's like, I don't know, I'm getting, like, a weird blood feeling. And it turns out that Shigichi used alcohol from the liquid and actually stuck them into their fucking veins. I'm like, wow. Damn, that was a smart but a fucking dick move at the same time. Like, shit. So they wouldn't be able to do much because they're so incredibly drunk because of all the alcohol in their veins. They won't even be able to feel, like, you know, anything at all. And it's like, you know, what the hell? Feeling a little dizzy, a little groggy, and they can't really do much. I mean, even though they were kind of drunk, they were still able to actually fight because they were able to withstand it. For some reason, even though I thought that it would kind of be funny, both of them were like, oh, yeah, hold on, man. Like, that shit would have been funny, but it's like, what the fuck? They're actually still not as drunk. I mean, they were drunk, but they were a bit sober. I'm surprised they weren't really that sick. So anyways, what happens is, though, is, well, you know, Okiosaku was like, okay, look, I give up. Let me just give you most of this money that you have, that you gave me from beforehand, and my original money that I had, and take it. But then Shigichi at first was gonna do it, but he's like, nice try. I'm not as stupid as you think, because you're trying to lure me as bait and trying to actually betray me and shit like that. It's like, damn. So we actually got him good with that one until apparently Josuke actually thought of something, you know, pretty smart. I mean, not Josuke, Okiosaku, where he was able to actually get into the position range of where the hand could reach. And once Okiosaku activated the hand, it was already over. Like, his miles of space was like, oh shit, most of my fucking harvest was like blown out of proportion. And then, when it comes to Josuke, after being free from that, what Josuke did was like, you know what? Say I do this, right? And he fucking rips off most of the thing, and I'm like, oh shit, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, oh, right, crazy diamond, I forgot, he can use it to restore it. Then he throws the pieces all over the city, Shigichi's like, oh no, that ain't gonna do well. He's really fucking nervous. It's his harvest stand, and while his harvest is doing the thing, actually collecting all the pieces, Shigichi's pretty much defenseless. And Josuke and Okiyosaka just beat the living out of shit out of him, finally, talking to him about the real ways of actually splitting the money. He learns his lesson, somewhat in a way, even though in deep down reality, the kid is still a stupid, fucking greedy douchebag. And he's still trying to learn his lesson, but he kind of remembered about the ass whooping he got the last time. I'm pretty sure he's going to remember that for a while. So that's pretty much the whole episode right there. And it's weird how they ended off with a to be continued thing, which is weird. But whatever, though. Next week, though, looks pretty promising, though. We're getting Yukako. Yukako, that's her name. Yukako. And we're going to get another episode of that. The Yandere Simulator bitch, which I'm pretty sure I kind of know what it's going to be, because we did see the opening where it's like her and some other chick. So this may have to do something with like Cinderella or something like that. It says something about like a Cinderella thing, a Cinderella arc or something like that. I have heard a little bit of this like Cinderella arc, which means after this arc, from what I've heard, after this arc, we are going to be getting to some Kira greatness. Yo, I cannot wait. Just one more episode, my boys and girls. And then finally, we'll finally be reaching the awesome sauce, which is Kira. So, definitely cannot wait for that. Yeah. So anyways, speaking of Kira, did you guys notice at the very end of the episode that we actually get to see Kira at the slightly bit of the last few seconds of the opening? We see him after Josuke does the little this, where the little, fuck, what the hell are those things called? The lighthouse thing, where it shows Josuke and then the turtle. Then it switches to Kira and the rat, and I'm like, wow. So we got rat there in the ending, and we got Kira, which is kind of fucking weird. But, okay. So I didn't realize the rat, mostly at first. I'm like, oh, what's a rat? I remember rat. Yeah, the rat stand thing that Josuke and Jotaro went to go hunt. And then finally we have Kira there, which looking badass as hell. Oh, man, I cannot wait, man. We're getting very close. I cannot wait. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below of this week's episode of JoJo's Diamonds Unbreakable, episode 19. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you just really want to punch Shugichi, whatever the fuck his name is, God, I don't care. Shugichi, I mean, if you want to punch him in the fucking face, it's fine, because I can't stand that kid myself. And I'm so glad this episode's over. Oh, right, the rating. It was good. It was a good episode. Not great, not fantastic, but it was a good episode overall. And it just makes you really want to hate Shugichi more. But at the same time, I really did like, compared to last week's episode, how we actually did get somewhat of an action-packed episode, where we actually did get to see, you know, some kinds of strategy in order to actually defeat Shugichi. So, you know, pretty good stuff. I actually really liked it. Compared to last week's episode, which was just too wacky for my taste, and it was okay, nothing like too special though, but it was funny, but nothing like spectacular at a series like JoJo. So yeah, but this episode was a bit more better, so I'll give it about a good. I'll let it pass. So it's a good episode, a 4 out of 5. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below, and that's it. Again, this is the Ninja Reviewer signing out, saying peace, soul, love, chicken grease, and the sky is the limit. Anime manga fans, keep supporting what you read and what you watch, and do you even pose? I'll see you guys next week for episode 20. That is 2-0 of Diamond is Unbreakable. And yeah, that's it. So